So this election could be could be a positive. We could have a positive result for three major reasons. First of all, the psychological reason that Malta is one district. Mm-hmm. We've had that before in 2004 and 2009, and we've always got the greatest number of votes at European elections, okay, because people feel that with Malta being one district, their vote is worth more. It's not being separated, Sulima, Arendi, Valletta, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's number one. But a second major aspect, and it's for the first time, that Malta is going to have 6 seats in the European elections, and therefore for the first time the quota is going to be calculated not on 5 seats but on 6 seats, which means that the threshold will go down by about 3% mm-hmm. on the last count. And we believe that if we can persuade around 20,000 more or less people to vote for us, number one, we should manage to get the 6th seat on even without a quota.
Well, back in 2004 you had...
In 2004, 23,000. With that amount, we would be elected. So we have to persuade the people that we are worth it, yes. and that we deserve it too.
Okay, right. I mean, Green parties tend to fare much better in other European countries during the elections, whereas in Malta, you seem not to. I mean, how do you explain this phenomenon?
Well, I believe it's a very strange phenomenon, but actually where there are less environmental problems, the northern countries, mm-hmm. the Central European countries, the Greens get more votes. And in the Mediterranean countries, where there are more problems, where there is much less awareness, even though the awareness is now obviously increasing, yes. because environment is linked very much to energy, is linked very much to traffic problems, and therefore people are seeing the tangible. It's linked to sicknesses, to asthma, and so on. So I see the tangible value of being careful about the way to handle the environment. But yet, it's a trend in Portugal, Spain, Italy, Malta, Cyprus, Greece, okay. that the Mediterraneans have voted until now less for Green parties, okay. even though things have started moving. The Greeks have elected for the first time in the European Parliament last time. Okay, the Cypriots have a member of Parliament now for the past 10 years in the Parliament, but they don't have a threshold. It's a pure proportional representation, okay, so that makes it easier. Mm-hmm. Of course, France has always been avant-garde, and Spain is also moving that it should elect its first Euro MP this election too. Okay. So let's hope that we follow in this.
The door is open for Malta to do the same.
To do the same.
Yes, of course. AD now has its sights set on the May elections, obviously, the EU elections. Exactly. I mean, you put your best 2 people forward, haven't you?
I don't know if we are the best 2 people.
Top 2 people, sorry.
Let's say it's the chairperson and the deputy chairperson, Carmen Cacopardo and myself. Certainly people with a certain experience. We have, with our faults and with our defects, but we also have an amount of political experience. And I think the major thing people must think about is whether they've had now, the Maltese have had for 10 years representatives in the European Parliament, representing themselves in 2 political groups. Okay. So I believe people should start thinking whether we have 3 or 2 or 4 in Labour or PPE or Socialists, okay. we're still going to influence 200, 250 people, not more than that. So between Socialists and PPE, whatever number of MPs you have, you're going to influence 450 MPs.
Right.
With us Greens, with 0, you influence less and nobody. Okay. With 1, you influence an extra 60 Green MEPs. So would Malta benefit from having an MEP from the Green Party? We cannot compete on the machinery. I think we can compete on the ideas, on our proposals, and on our programs. At the moment, we are working on the European manifesto together with our colleagues, and we shall be voting on that, approving it at the end of February. Okay. We have worked and persuaded our European Green colleagues as regards the migration issue. Okay. That will be in our programme, that the Dublin 2 has to be drastically changed and revised in order to accommodate countries like Malta, so that the migrants, the refugee seekers, after applying in Malta, can relocate to other countries. This is a first.
Okay.
The Green Group, it is not Alternativa. This is the whole program of the European Green Party. The French, the Spanish, the Germans are going out on that program, will be on that program.
Right.
And now we expect the Muscat and we expect Busuttil to compete with us, to go even beyond us and ensure that they have it in the Pepe electoral program and the socialist electoral program, because that is the only way that can change things with regards to migration.
That's the root of the entire burden-sharing argument,
It
isn't
is the whole responsibility burden-sharing argument. You can only have responsibility sharing if you change the Dublin Convention. If you don't change it, it is useless telling people to smell the coffee. The Prime Minister has been 10 months already speaking and giving interviews and threatening, and what have we got out of it? Zilch.
Brewing coffee for 10 months, but nobody's smelling it.
Yes, it's become a decaffeinato now. So the real political solution to the migration problem, as far as it hits Malta, is the changing of the Dublin rule, where people would have to stay here once they've landed here.
Okay, right.
The Greens will have that in their program. The European Greens, I repeat, not only because everybody, the Labour Party can put it in their program, the Nationalists can put it in, we can put it in our program, but we don't decide. It's the whole group that has to decide.
No, they don't have the clout that the
We-
European Greens have. in
No, no,
Parliament. So,
but
I mean,
no, the PPE would have a big clout. Of course, they have a bigger clout than us. The Socialists have a bigger clout than us, but they have to approve that.
Exactly.
And they have to then apply it once they are elected.
Exactly.
So that's something they should pull towards.